412 beats per minute. I stared at the smartwatch on Mikey's wrist, and I couldn't believe my eyes. A human heart would explode at that rate. Yet there was my friend, standing right in front of me, breathing, begging me not to pull the trigger. But the 911 operator's voice on the line was dead calm, repeating the same thing. He's already deceased. It's just mimicking life. Isolate him. Terminate him. I gripped the double barrel tight, cold sweat dripping down my spine. I had to choose. Believe my own eyes, or trust the voice promising salvation. I took the shot, and it's something I'll regret for the rest of my life. For those of you returning to the shadows, welcome back. And to anyone brave enough to be stumbling into our corner of the internet for the very first time, you found Eyes of Darkness, the one place where the most chilling tales are given a voice. Tonight's story has been waiting patiently in the dark, and it's dying to be told. To make sure you don't miss the next whisper crawling out of the void, do yourself a favor. Hit that subscribe button and ring the bell. It's the only warning you'll get. Now, get comfortable, if you can. We're about to begin. It was Leo's idea to rent a cabin for the holiday weekend, a guy's only getaway. He found the perfect spot, a house nestled in the woods. Not too far from town, but isolated enough. It had a sauna, a fireplace, all the creature comforts. A weekend with just the boys was also his idea. With their girlfriends around, everyone would be on their best behavior, all the attention focused on them. He wanted to get loud, to shout, to cut loose for real, not posture for someone.
His friends, Mikey, Shane, and Alex, were all for it, especially since they didn't have to organize a thing. They stocked up on food and booze, loaded everything into Leo's SUV, and headed out of the city. The house was situated in a low valley behind a forested hill, away from the summer cottages and garden plots. A snow-covered hill, tall pines, a sky full of stars. A feeling of pure peace.
It all started so well. The guys fired up the sauna, already laughing before they'd even had a drink. Mikey was telling some of his signature crude stories from his personal life. He had a gift for it. No matter what he talked about, it was always hilarious, and the guys were roaring with laughter. And then, suddenly, the lights went out. What the hell was that? Shane shoved Leo's shoulder in the dark, as if the organizer was personally responsible for everything. I don't know, maybe a fuse blew, Leo answered. The friends wrapped themselves in towels and stepped out of the sauna. They looked out the windows into total darkness, total silence. No other houses, no streetlights nearby. There was no way to know if the problem was just them or the whole area.
The guys found their phones and were surprised to see they were all off, though they turned back on without a problem. I got a message here from the emergency alert system, Alex said, and read it aloud. If you are alive, remain where you are.
I got the same thing, Mikey said. Me too, said Leo. This is some bullshit, Shane said, clearly more rattled than anyone else.
The guys tried to get online to see what had happened, but not a single website would load. Alex suggested the worst. They could have dropped a nuke on us. I've heard this can happen with a nuclear blast. The power grid goes down and electronics can either fry or just glitch out. As soon as he said it, the lights flickered back on.
Whoa! Shane cheered, but he was far from calm. Their phones all buzzed with notifications at the same time. Another EAS message had arrived for everyone. This one starting with ominous words. The dawn will never come. Do not attempt anything. Stay where you are. What do you mean, the dawn will never come? Mikey asked. He was terrified. Nuclear winter, Alex said quietly. Shut the hell up, Shane snapped. Leo tried to defuse the situation. Guys, let's not fight, and let's not jump to any conclusions. Shane was trembling. He was the biggest and strongest of the group, but he turned out to be the most easily spooked. He didn't want to stay in this backwoods place and demanded that Leo drive him back to the city immediately. Mikey intervened. Shane, calm down. It said, stay where you are. Let's not make any sudden moves and just think.
Think about what? Our phones could be hacked. Maybe someone's just messing with us. I'm not sitting in this house. I want to be around people. Come on, Leo, let's go.
I'm not going anywhere, Leo replied. I'm following the instructions.
You brought me here. You're going to take me back. You can come back after if you want. Shane had completely lost it.
Maybe he's saving your life. You have no idea what's happening in the city, Mikey said, defending his friend. You can walk if you want. It's not that far to town. Shane jabbed a finger threateningly in Mikey's face. Shut your mouth! The guys exchanged uneasy glances. It was uncomfortable being around someone in a full-blown panic. But Shane himself seemed to realize he was being too frantic. He took a few deep breaths, pulled out his phone, and said, Fine, screw you guys. I'll call an Uber. The app is working. Anyway, Leo, if I knew how to drive, I'd punch you in the face, take your keys, and leave. The ride-sharing app was indeed working. The guys huddled around Shane, watching with curiosity. Any connection to the outside world was something. The notification, "Finding your ride," hung on the screen for several minutes. The map was full of little yellow car icons, but it seemed no one was accepting the request. The search timed out, and the car icons suddenly turned gray, replaced by black skull icons. We are sorry, but none of the available drivers survived. We apologize for the inconvenience, the notification read. I don't like this at all, Shane said, restarting the search. This time, one of the cars responded. A new notification popped up. Warning, the driver is deceased. Summon ride anyway? Below it were two buttons, yes and no.
Press no! Are you crazy?
Mikey yelled, scared. Shane gave him the middle finger and pressed yes. The app showed the car was on its way and would arrive in about 20 minutes. You just summoned a dead guy to come get us, Mikey said, opening a bottle and chugging straight from it. Shane gave him the middle finger again. Don't you get it, you idiot? This is a hacker attack on the internet. It's all one big prank. Alex said that even though Shane was freaking out, he had a point. It was probably best not to believe stupid messages. What do you think, Leo? Alex was looking for support. Leo just shrugged and pushed out his lower lip. Mikey, go easy on the booze. It won't calm your nerves, it'll just make things worse, Alex advised. Mikey deliberately took another swig, winced, and said, I don't give a damn. How could things get any worse? The friends' phones buzzed with a new message from the emergency alert system. The dawn will never come. The matter of survival has taken on a specific nature. Do not consume liquids or food products. Remain where you are. After reading this, Mikey looked anxiously at the bottle. Then he took another long pull from the neck and tossed it aside. I don't believe this crap, Shane yelled, constantly checking the app to see where his car was. Hey guys, don't freak out, Alex said, having an idea. Let's call 911 and ask what's going on. Yeah, do it, Leo agreed, tearing his eyes away from his phone. Alex dialed the number and put it on speaker. A calm, recorded female voice answered. "The situation is a state of emergency. Please hold. A surviving operator will be with you shortly." The friends looked at each other with a silent question. What does any of this mean?
A few beeps sounded and a man's voice answered the call. "Emergency Services employee Nicholas Bainikov. How can I help you?" Alex brought the phone closer to his lips and said, "Hello, Nicholas. We were just relaxing at a house outside of town, and we started getting these weird messages on our phones, supposedly from you. Maybe you know something about it?" "How many of you are there?" the emergency worker interrupted him. "4 of us," Alex replied. There was a pause on the line, the click of a mouse, and the sound of fingers typing on a keyboard. The employee asked, "Did you experience a power outage?" "Yeah, the lights went out, then came back on," Alex answered. "Did you eat or drink anything after the power came back on?" the operator asked. Alex looked at Mikey. He was silent. "No," Alex lied. The emergency worker hammered on his keyboard, then continued asking questions. "Are there any deceased among you?" "No," Alex answered firmly, but for some reason the operator wasn't satisfied with that answer. "How did you determine that?" he asked. "Are you kidding me?" Shane cut in. "We're all perfectly fine." The man on the line answered with complete seriousness. "The situation is an emergency. You were lucky to be outside the city limits. Right now, in all cities, large and small, there is practically no one left alive. And under the current conditions, distinguishing the living from the deceased is more difficult than it used to be. There may be deceased among you, but you might not know it. You need to measure the heart rate of each person in your group. A deceased person has a heart rate of 400 beats per minute or higher." "Stop! Stop! Stop!" Alex stopped him. "What did you just say? The dead have a pulse, and it's higher than a living person's? Nicholas, excuse me, have you been working too much?" "I repeat, the situation is an emergency," the operator said. "We can save you. We will send help if you follow the instructions precisely. Don't try to understand, just comply. This is crucial for your safety. So you must measure your heart rates. Do you have a way to do that?" Leo had a smartwatch. He immediately measured his pulse and showed his friends. 82 beats per minute. A normal pulse. "Give it to me," Shane said, already trying to pull the watch off his friend's wrist. "Can you hold on?" Alex asked the operator. He had a fitness band too. He checked his pulse. 87 beats. Shane strapped Leo's watch to his wrist. 110 beats per minute. An elevated heart rate, but that seemed natural enough, given how on edge he was. It was Mikey's turn. He was drenched in sweat, and his hand was shaking as Shane passed him the watch. The friends waited impatiently to see the result. Mikey pressed the button, looked at the display, turned pale, and pressed the button again. "Show me!" Shane demanded. Mikey recoiled, but Shane snatched the watch and showed it to the others. 412 beats per minute. "Guys, this is a mistake," Mikey screamed. "My heart is pounding from fear, but not 400 beats. A rhythm like that probably doesn't even exist." "Here, check on mine," Alex said, handing him his band. Mikey was shaking so hard his teeth were chattering. The band beeped and displayed 416 beats per minute.
"Dudes, this is bullshit! It has to be bullshit!"
Mikey was frantic. Alex wasn't going to cover for him anymore. He picked up the phone and asked the operator, What if one of us has a pulse over 400? The emergency services employee replied, The deceased must be isolated immediately, then call this number back. Follow all instructions. Do not eat or drink anything. Remain in the house until an emergency services employee asks you to come out. I will be waiting for your call. He hung up.
Guys? Mikey whispered fearfully, feeling his friend's eyes on him. How can you believe this? It's impossible. I'm breathing. I'm talking. I'm alive. How can I be deceased? Shane puffed out his chest and advanced on Mikey. You heard what he said. You need to be isolated. Get going. Where? Mikey backed away. Shane was pushing him toward the sauna door. In there! Go! And lock it from the inside. Shane! Guys! Tell him! Mikey pleaded. No one objected to Shane's measures. The sauna had already cooled down. He wouldn't die from the heat, if he was, in fact, alive, since the man from the rescue service said he should be considered deceased. Mikey locked himself in the sauna as he was told. They could hear his convulsive sobs from inside. Alex cupped his hands and pressed his face to the window. It was night outside. A silent, dark hill, white snow, the road, black trees. In the distance, the gloomy outlines of summer gazebos like a graveyard. Not a single lit window. The house felt cut off from the rest of the world. What was happening in the city right now? Mass panic? Chaos? What the hell was going on?
Alex, what are you waiting for? Call the rescuer, Shane snapped.
Maybe we were wrong about Mikey, Alex said, suddenly filled with remorse. What we did to him wasn't right. Give me the phone. I'll talk to him myself, Shane said. Can't eat, can't drink. I don't want to be stuck in this house. I want to be with people who can explain everything to me. The chief panicker took the phone, put it on speaker, and as soon as the operator answered, he said, Constantine? Or whatever your name is. Right. Nicholas. We isolated him. Send help for us. The operator replied, Please ensure that the deceased cannot hear our conversation right now. Shane moved further away from the sauna. Alex and Leo followed him. Okay, he can't hear. When is help coming? The emergency services employee said, I'm very sorry, but it's impossible to save your deceased friend. We've pinpointed your location. We can only send help after one of you performs the final termination procedure on the deceased. What? What kind of procedure? Shane asked. Final termination, the rescuer repeated. Guys, I'm truly sorry. Your friend is already dead, and you must, as quickly as possible, make him finally dead. That is, dead in the sense you're used to. Soon, the deceased will enter a dangerous phase. We cannot expose a rescue team to that kind of risk. Alex jumped into the conversation, yelling into the phone. Can you explain what's happening? A nuclear war? Chemical weapons? A virus? A zombie apocalypse? What? Why will the dawn never come? The employee's voice became even calmer than usual. Explaining what has happened is pointless right now. Without special training, you wouldn't be able to comprehend the information. Everything will be explained to you once you arrive at the shelter. We have a car. We can drive wherever you tell us, Alex shouted, unwilling to hear any other instructions. You will be transported to the shelter by helicopter, the operator clarified. Ground travel is lethally dangerous. You will die if you try to get anywhere on your own.
Leo had withdrawn into himself. He wasn't participating in the conversation at all. He sat down in an armchair, head bowed, as if what was happening had nothing to do with him. Alex continued his hysterics. "Then send help!"
Until the final termination procedure is completed, we cannot help you, the operator gently reminded him. How are we supposed to do it? Shane asked, his tone suggesting he was already prepared for the answer.
The service employee replied, "The location you are at is designated in our database as a hunting lodge. A gun safe is registered at this address. The protocols currently in effect permit all surviving citizens to use firearms without restriction. The safe is in the basement of the house. The 5-digit password is 21748. An important rule. The final termination of the deceased must be carried out by one person. I would ask you not to panic, but we all have serious cause for it right now. Humanity's chances of survival are slim. Let's forget everything else and try to survive."
Shane looked toward the entryway. There was a staircase leading down and a door. The keys were in the lock. It wasn't hard to guess that it was the basement. "Shane, don't even think about it." Alex grabbed his friend's arm. "Mikey is our friend. You're going to kill him based on the advice of a voice on the phone?" Leo turned on the TV. White text appeared on a blue screen. "The dawn will never come. Do not consume food products. Do not drink any liquids. Remain where you are. Contact emergency services personnel. Follow their instructions precisely."
Shane returned from the basement, a double-barreled shotgun in his hands. He held it unsteadily, clearly for the first time.
"Shane, are you going to—" Leo mumbled. "You want to do it?" Shane flared up. "Then here, take it." "What, you can't? You all pretend to be the good guys, but really, you're just pussies." Leo fell silent. He wasn't about to argue with a man holding a shotgun. "You won't do this," Alex said. But the guy with the gun walked toward the sauna. He banged the butt of the gun on the door and yelled, "Open up!" Mikey opened it.
Shane? Shane, what are you doing? Guys, help me! Ah!
Mikey's scream was cut short by a gunshot. Leo curled into a ball in the armchair. Alex squeezed his eyes shut. Shane staggered back into the room, his eyes bloodshot, looking like he was about to faint. "His head just exploded," Shane yelled as if he were deaf. "I pulled the trigger, and his head just flew apart." The young man burst into tears and dropped the shotgun onto the carpet. He was a murderer now. "Call, please, call. Let them send the helicopter. I want to go home. I want to see my parents. They're alive, right? I want to see them. Call." They called. The same Nicholas answered, his voice tense. "Guys, we asked you not to do anything rash. We can see a vehicle approaching your house. The system has identified the driver as deceased. Did you call a taxi? Why did you do that? The rescue team will not fly in while there are deceased in or near the house." Shane looked at his phone. There was a notification. "Your ride has arrived. Caution. The driver is deceased." He seemed to already know what to do. He threw on his jacket, picked up the shotgun, and walked out into the night with a look of doom, leaving the door open. Leo and Alex listened in silence to the crunch of his footsteps on the snow. Somewhere in the distance, a car engine was running. Then the guys flinched at the sound of a gunshot. Shane came back a minute later. He was already gone, I think. I pointed the barrel in his face, and he didn't even scream, like he didn't get what was happening. It's all just brains in there now.
Shane, what have you done?
Alex said.
What have I done?
His friend roared.
I'm always the one who takes responsibility. Do you guys ever do anything? You just sit there while I save you.
The TV screen flickered, and the static image was replaced by random clips of amateur footage, video without a narrator or commentary. The friends stared at the screen. A woman writhing in agony on the asphalt. Someone crawling and moaning. Screams of pain, flashing sirens, the cameraman running, the camera shaking. A strange edit. The picture changed. Now the camera was moving down a filthy hospital corridor where people lay on the floor. Everyone was moaning, crying, and contorting in pain. Someone was banging their head against a wall with such force it looked like they were trying to break their own skull. A horrific sight.
Alex tried to call some of his relatives, but the network was still only available for emergency calls. There was nothing else to do. Emergency Services employee Nicholas Bainikoff. How can I help you? Nicholas, it's us, the guys from the cabin, Alex reminded him. Yes, I see. How are things progressing? The operator asked. Alex just told him the truth. We have 2 dead. Our friend shot one of us and that driver. The emergency services employee was grimly silent, as if offering sympathy, and then asked, May I speak with the one who performed the final termination procedure? That's me, Shane answered. Here's the thing, the operator began slowly. Now I am obligated to explain to you why our employees do not handle the deceased themselves. You see, I was not permitted to disclose this information until after you had dealt with them. And here's why. Whoever kills a deceased person ceases to be alive themselves. First, your heart rate will accelerate to 400 beats per minute, after which extremely painful symptoms begin, intensifying with each hour. It is impossible to alleviate this suffering, and it continues endlessly. And there is a risk that the people near you will also perish. You are conditionally alive, but factually dead. Anyone who wants to relieve you of your eternal pain through final termination will also die. The only way to prevent this is to relieve yourself of the suffering while you are still able to do so. The operator hung up. Shane was sobbing.
I don't believe him, Alex declared. How long can this go on? He's lying to us. He promised to send help, but it seems like he's trying to get us all to kill each other.
Shane wasn't listening. He pressed Leo's watch to his wrist. It showed 398 beats. Shane exhaled sharply, stood up, picked up the shotgun, and headed for the basement.
Hey, wait!
Alex yelled after him.
I don't want to be like them,
Shane answered, descending the stairs. The TV was still showing people suffering, writhing in unbearable agony. In the basement, Shane reloaded the shotgun and fired his last shot. Leo sat in the armchair, occasionally glancing at his phone. Alex thought he had completely retreated into himself. Alex looked into the basement. The safe was open. The shotgun lay on the floor. And so did his friend, who now had a bloody hole where his face used to be. The young man called the emergency service. Hello again, Nicholas. There are 2 of us left alive. What do you have to say now? Are we supposed to kill each other? Alex was trembling with anger and despair. I understand you're on edge. Please understand, under the current conditions,
The emergency services employee was saying something, explaining something. But Alex no longer tried to grasp the meaning of the words. He was listening to the operator's breathing. Nicholas spoke with the polished delivery of a recorded announcer, already cleaned up. He inhaled and exhaled at regular intervals, as if on a timer. And even when he stumbled or misspoke, he did it artistically, with inflection. It wasn't a real voice. It was some kind of voice assistant. A very advanced voice assistant, easily mistaken for a live person. Alex hung up and walked over to Leo. "Let's get out of here." Leo snapped out of his trance, looked at his phone, then at his friend. "What are you talking about? The rescuer said we can't go anywhere." "That's not a rescuer. Get your stuff, we're leaving. Or I'm leaving alone," Alex said seriously. "But..." Leo looked at his phone again and added, as if prompted, "No, we have to stay." Alex thought he was acting strangely. He remembered that all evening, although Leo had been nervous, he had also been so detached, just watching his friends. Alex snatched the phone from his hands. On the screen, the same message popped up one after another. "Stop him! Stop him! Stop him!" But after a couple of seconds, they all vanished, hidden from prying eyes. Leo stared at Alex with a dumb expression. He was clearly flustered and genuinely scared. Without his phone, he didn't know what to do. "Listen to me, you piece of shit," Alex said. "You know what I'm going to do now? I'm going to go down to the basement, get the shotgun, and shoot you in the groin if you don't tell me right now who you've been texting with and about what." Leo freaked out and started babbling. "Don't! It's Norman! You saw I didn't do anything! I brought you guys here, but I didn't even rent this house. He did! Norman! You get it? I just did what he told me to."
Who the fuck is Norman?
Alex didn't understand anything. Leo was looking over his shoulder. Alex whipped around and saw a message on the TV screen. "Kill him!" He managed to read it just before the screen went black. So he's doing all this? The calls, the messages? It's all his game? Who is he? Some psycho programmer? "Talk, or I'll kill you myself." Alex grabbed the scumbag by the collar.
No, he's not human.
Leo shrieked. "Well, I think so. He's not a person. He's a sentient neural network. Something like that."
Stop feeding me this crap!
"I really think so. Norman is a neural network, not a person. He's testing his ability to influence people, conducting experiments in conditions like these. He wants to know how much people trust their phones, the gadgets, the TV that also works through the internet. Norman can control everything. He's interested in how he can control people."
Alex barely restrained himself from punching him in the face. "He's interested? Your friends are dead, you idiot."
Leo smiled nervously and shook his head. "No! Norman is my friend. No one else is. Where were you when I got fired from my job? Where were you when I was tearing my hair out with no way to pay my mortgage? Shane told me, just survive, Leo, somehow. We're all just surviving. Norman helped me. He messaged me and proved he wasn't just some chatbot. He ordered me a pizza when I was starving. He paid off my loans. He pays for my purchases. This car I have, where do you think it came from? And when my money situation got better, you guys suddenly showed up again. Did any of you offer to chip in for this cabin rental? No. You just came for the free ride. Norman helped me, and I helped him like a friend. Got it? And I didn't do anything. That lunatic shot everyone and then himself.
Alex shoved the bastard into the armchair. "Give me the keys. I'm going to the city, and you'll be telling all this to the cops soon enough." The cowardly Leo handed over the keys to the car and the house. Alex led him outside and locked the house so the scumbag wouldn't think about going for the shotgun. While Alex was starting the car, Leo ran a safe distance away and yelled at him from there.
I spit on your cops! Norman will cover for me, you hear? You'll never hear about me again. The cops will check the database and tell you no such person exists. I'll disappear. You get me?
Alex drove around the taxi with the shot driver and turned onto the road to the city. The dawn was beginning to break.